I didn't really fit in because I was so, I was just a dreamer, a daydreamer during school, and that's what they called me. They called me the dreamer, and it so it hurt my feelings, and so I felt like I didn't fit in, and it was pretty bad.
So before I started homeschooling, Clarissa was in preschool, and she was very social, very comfortable with the other kids, learned really well. By the time she was finished with the first year of preschool, they said she was kindergarten ready. But when she came home, she was just impossible to be with. She was hyper and didn't have self-control, wasn't bonding with me the way that she always had before. We'd always kind of been best little buddies. And then towards the end of the year, she started doing things like would hop up on the furniture at the preschool, and they would ask her to get down, and she wouldn't. And every time we had a break from school, this kind of behavior would go away. And so by the time summer came around and it went away and seemed to stay away, I thought, well, let's try homeschooling and see what happens, because it seems like maybe this is more related to the school environment than it is to being 4.
We have friends that are teachers and educators, and we really acknowledge that. But we also acknowledge that one size does not fit all. And so there are other ways of approaching education that work for certain kids that are not part of the public system. And when we saw the behavioral issues that were manifesting in our oldest daughter, when she went through a more traditional public education path, we said to ourselves, this is not going to work long term. And I had recollections of being a kid in kindergarten and spending half my day in the principal's office for, inappropriate behavior. And I know that the energy and creativity and outlet that she needs isn't something that does well in a traditional setting.
Well, I think actually the thing that made me finally decide that, yes, we're going to stick with this, this is the right road for us, was seeing how much Clarissa loved to learn, particularly history. Clarissa fell in love with history, and it was sort of a fluke that I started teaching history. I was using a curriculum at the time that was incorporating history into it, and so we started learning about different parts of the world, and I remember we read the book Ferdinand, we learned about Spain, and Clarissa decided to put on these plays. She was 5 years old, decided to start putting on plays about the things that we were studying. And so we kind of do this whole play, and I would be the narrator, and she would act out everything, and she became absolutely passionate about history. And that, I just thought, if she can be this passionate about something that most kids really find boring and most adults really never learn about, then this has got to be a good thing that's offering her more than she would be offered in school.
This is a history project that I made in history class when I was 7. And this right here I actually wrote in quill pen. It's the Magna Carta. And that down there is the diary of a medieval adventurer, Columbus, that I wrote myself and illustrated. Right there, very important, is the Black Death, and John Gutenberg, who invented the printing press, and Queen Elizabeth I. And right above that is Shakespeare's Globe Theatre, which is all about his plays and the Globe Theatre, of course. We had a lot of fun doing this.
It is up to the parents to initiate the drive for change that is needed in education.